Do you feel local or you feel like a little bit of foreigner or like 100% local?
You know, like when taxi drivers always ask for our life story,
Yeah.
I just say I'm Singaporean, and
Yeah.
I just say I was born in the UK, but I grew up here my whole life, and that's that. I feel very local because I went into the local education system, and I think that's where, because I know so many people who are like me, third culture kids, like grew up here their whole life, but they went to international school, and so their experience of Singapore is very different.
Yeah.
So I think because I went through the local education system, it was really like I assimilated real quick into the culture, and I like feel like if I go anywhere else, I'm like, oh, take me back to Singapore. I don't feel like I am
Don't feel
comfortable.
safe.
I don't, well, yeah, no, because Singapore's the safest place ever, right?
Yeah. I heard the stories, I don't know if it's true or not. If you're like from local school, even if you're like Caucasian, you treat it as a local. But if you're Singaporean, but you spend, let's say you spend your own life in another country, or you're a foreigner, even with PR, but from international school, you know what I mean? You treat it
Yes.
more as a foreigner.
Yes, I'm very lucky to have a very eclectic group of friends. So one of them, she is Singaporean, but she grew up in the UK and recently moved back, and she was kind of sharing how people give her disapproving looks when they, like she's Malay, but she can't speak, and people are like, well, do you hate the country so much that you had to leave? Like, why are you back then? You know, like that kind of stuff. And I'm like, come on. In this day and age, yeah, it's quite icky. I don't like it. You know, Singapore is proud of its like multiculturalism, and you know, we always hear it's a melting pot of cultures, and yet we still have so many closed-minded people that can't be more open to other people's upbringings. Yeah.
I interviewed the girl, she's 27 and she was born in Singapore.
Yes.
And people in the comments, people really divided into two sides, like, oh, give your PR right now, that's the first one, and the second one, oh, she's not Singaporean because she doesn't speak any like Singlish, or she doesn't show any like Singaporean accent. Where's your Singaporean accent?
Are you ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Galina, f your mother lah. What the hell? They just love it.
Okay.
I don't know why. People are always, in my comments, are always like, say this, say this, say this. And it's always a swear word.
Okay, we just lost our conservative part of our audience.
I didn't even realize I picked it up until my parents were like, what are you saying? And then I started posting videos on TikTok, and people were like, hang on, why is this Angmoh speaking Singlish so well? And then I think people just find it really fascinating, or like forget that what you look like and what you sound like can be separated. And I think that challenges some people's mindsets as well. Because I remember there was this one time in primary school, we had these visitors come, I can't remember what for, but they were all white, and then there was this one Chinese guy, and they were all like talking one by one, and it got to the Chinese guy, and he had the strongest Scottish accent ever. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like, why did I assume he was gonna sound a certain way? So I feel like that's the same reaction when people look at like Caucasians that can do Singlish, and they're like, whoa, wait, hang on, okay, interesting.
How does it work? You switch between Singlish and like British English, whatever you want, or like depends on who you talk to?
It definitely depends on who I talk to. After going to university, because I did theater in university, we did a voice class which taught us how to like break down accents. And because of that class, I was able to then be able to control which accent came out at what time. But before that, it was really like random. With my parents, it's like very strong British. With like people I'm meeting, it's American. If I'm angry, it's Singaporean. If it's with a taxi driver or like in any really local situation, the kopitiam or whatever, it's very Singaporean. But now I can kind of like control when it comes out and where it goes.
You live in a HDB or condo?
This is the funny thing. We lived in a executive HDB, my mom and my brothers and I. I moved out to move in with friends, and for 2 years we lived in an HDB. And then the housing crisis got so bad, it ended up being cheaper to rent a condo with full facilities, gym, pool, sauna, car park, than the HDB. And so we are now in a condo. I mean, I couldn't afford to live with friends anymore, so I moved back in with my mom. She still charges me rent, but not as much as like a landlord would. But it was just crazy.